Hi guys, it's Nabiha here and welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be all about the IB. I'm joined by some special guests who we'll get to in a moment, but we're basically going to be reviewing our first term studying the International Baccalaureate. Our special guests are going to introduce themselves right about now.
Hello, I'm Faramade Adibiga.
Hi guys, I'm Olivia Lisagu.
But before we get started, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, tell your friends to tell their friends to tell their friends, turn on your post notifications, and without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, I'm gonna start by just asking, how are you guys? Like, how are you doing? How's life been treating you?
I'm good.
We thank God.
We thank God, yes, important.
First things first, the subjects we're doing. I am doing higher level maths, English, economics and global politics, and standard level biology and Spanish.
I'm doing higher level economics, biology and chemistry, and standard level Spanish B, English literature, and maths AI.
Okay, specific goal, sorry. I'm doing high level biology, chemistry, and psychology, standard level math AA, English literature, and then French native. So that's French A, right? Yeah, French A, yeah.
Nice.
She's gonna get the, what's it called, bilingual diploma.
Yes, sir, double.
As you should. Now that we've gone over the basics, let's get to the nitty-gritty. We've all just recently moved to the UK to start the IB diploma, and it's been a term. And what a term it's been.
Yeah.
One thing I really want my YouTube to be is interactive and, very open and free with the viewers. So we're going to be as honest as possible and try and get you guys to understand what the IB is. And we're definitely going to go in depth about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's start on a positive note. So why did you guys choose the IB?
I think for me, it was mostly because I don't really know where I want to school, like uni. I feel like for A levels it kind of restricts you, but for IB it really broadens your options. I'm really open to France, the Netherlands, Europe in general, also America.
I didn't want to be basic. Everyone else was choosing A levels, and I said I want to be different.
True.
But then when I would mention it to anyone, I'm like, oh, it's 6 subjects. I'm like, oh my goodness, that's so hard. You must be crazy. Then I was like, let me just, go ahead and be crazy.
Go girl.
They were right.
They were very.
I must be crazy. No, I'm kidding. Okay, there's an element of truth in that, but then I also wasn't completely sure whether I wanted to do medicine or not. And then also I wanted to continue studying stuff like Spanish. I thought continuing math in a high level of education would also be beneficial to me. And I love economics as well, even though I don't need it. But then I'm also not basic, so...
Yes, go queen. What they both said is so true, but for me, it's there's so much more, as far as I'm concerned, that you can do with the IB than you could with A levels. Another thing is, I'm still trying to decide what path I'm supposed to take next, and having the 6th subject choice was the best thing for me. I've also always wanted to go to America. I've never wanted to, stay in the UK for university, so picking the IB was the best choice for me. IB just made more sense, and yeah, so far so good.
Why are you lying? Why are you lying to the audience?
I also put a poll up on my Instagram to get people to ask me a few questions. Throughout our conversation, I'm going to be throwing some questions in, if that's okay by you guys. Okay, one of the questions was, what do you feel the major differences between IGCSE and IB are?
Oh, so much. I feel like the change, it's so distinct. There's a difference. I don't even know how to explain it, but there's such a big difference. That level of difficulty is also there, but I feel like it also helps you to adjust to the real world. And this is what a lot of people tell me about the IB. I feel like once you complete the IB, university will be a walk in the park.
What Olivia said about curriculum is so true, because I have a friend who does chemistry, and in the first few classes the chemistry teacher had told her, forget everything you learned at GCSEs because they were lying to you.
That's what my econ teacher told me.
Before talking about SPDP
there was no point of doing chemistry at GCSE. I was just okay, wait,
what's going on?
I don't do chemistry, so I don't know what they're talking about.
It's not that difficult to get round, but like because you already have what you've learned stuck in your head, it's hard to like reprogram it
Exactly.
and adjust to what you're being taught.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is true with the entire school system. In like reception, they told you like the smallest number was 0. No, it's not. As you progress, you kind of see like the entire education system dumps things down until you get to a certain point, if that makes sense. So literally everything you've learned up until now, they would say is a lie.
So the education system is lying to us. It's a lie, a fraud.
So, but there was such a gap though. Basic things that you learn is still so different. So how did it change so much? The jump, exactly, the jump. It's crazy.
True. Another thing I see with the IB though is like the breadth of knowledge you are intaking is a lot wider. And I guess, yeah, we are growing up, and obviously as life progresses, things do get harder. The most constant thing is the jump and understanding that you actually have to buckle up and your work is cut out for you.
Let me tell you something. Up to the last GCSE exam, I would like watch maybe like one movie or one series before my test.
Exactly.
Wait, are we not in the same school?
But like my results were promising.
Yeah, our results were good. Don't get us wrong. We did well.
I did well.
Yay us. But we've seen like the difference in how much we have to do. Remember guys, if you are going to do the IB, you have to buckle up. There's no two ways around it.
You better buckle up. Put on your seatbelts.
Someone asked, what is the workload like? Firstly guys, we go to 3 different schools, so I feel like it may differ from person to person. Just talk us through like how you balance work and your social life.
I feel like it depends on like the subjects you do. Personally, the workload is quite a lot. You know, I think at first they all know there's a lot of crying, there's a lot of mental breakdown, but I think I have now adjusted to the workload, so I know now how to like manage my time.
For me, I do 4 higher levels.
Wait, how many?
I do 4 higher levels. I love how they're looking at me as if I'm crazy. And my subjects are mainly essay based. So because of that, I do have quite a bit more work to do compared to some of my other friends who only have 3 HLs. There's still days where I like do not want to do any work and I really just want to sleep. But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Because we don't want to end up in McDonald's. You know, in everything I do, I thank God. It won't be possible without the big man upstairs, because there are some days I generally go to bed at 7. I haven't done work that day, but I've had all 6 subjects. The workload is there. It's hefty. My school's pretty free with how each student decides to allocate their time. I think that makes it easier for me to procrastinate. I guess that's been working in my favor. But I get my work done, guys. Don't worry. I find a way. With the IB, no one is waiting for you,
To be honest. And you know what's so fun? I went for a math clinic and I felt a bit like, oh my god, I'm going for a math clinic. Can you imagine? But when I went there, the whole class was there. I'm like, so it's not just me that's failing. We're all in this together.
Another question is, what are the main differences between IB and A levels? I personally go to a school that does both IB and A levels. In fact, the main thing is the number of classes you have. I have friends who don't have to get out of bed until 10 o'clock because they have like double or triple outs. I have to be awake by 7. Another big difference though is like, in the IB, a lot of your learning is done in class because of how much time you actually do spend in class. But for A levels, there's a lot more self-directed learning. You have more free time, so it's about utilizing it better. This Christmas, I have to write an extended essay proposal, and I don't have a topic or a subject.
This December is to enjoy myself. I'm so sorry.
chop life before life chops you.
But I have a 2,000 word essay.
That's the mentality I want to have. But I know that when I get back into chemistry class, my classmates would have done research on 20 topics ahead of me. They stress me out more than the IB.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think I ever learned how to study. So now I have to like relearn so many things and like rework my work ethic in general to do well.
Like, I don't think I knew how to study or my preferred way of studying until I got here.
In some classes, we don't take notes. And I'm someone that like, I have to take notes to learn.
There's so much I have to learn and do on my own that I have to learn how to learn.
But it's alright. It's alright. We're advancing a bit.
Okay, I have a question here that says, what subjects can you do at IB? The basic structure of the IB consists of 6 subject groups, and these are math,
English,
A language
a humanity,
a science,
and an art.
or an other.
yeah. But then the art is not compulsory.
So instead of doing like an art, like maybe theatre, you could pick something from one of the other subject groups. Is the IB harder than the A levels? Yes.
I know, but I feel like no. I don't think that's fair.
Olivia, I used to think no. Let's even eliminate the fact that we do 6 whole subjects. We have extended essay, we have TOK essays, IAs, we have CAS, and they're all compulsory to us getting the certificate.
Obviously, okay, yeah, maybe the workload is more. I feel like they both have their ups and downs. I know there's so many people in like my school who don't think the IB is hard at all.
Did I not mention someone that got all 7s in the first term?
That is insane. I'm so sorry, but that is insane.
I don't think it's fair to say it's harder.
There's a question here that says, I felt a big difference to previous years in terms of pressure. Did you too? I personally want to go to university. I don't want to stop, my learning life here.
I feel like this is the point where you're under the most pressure. It's like a pivot in your life, because this is where things start to change the most.
And the idea that we're actually going to be in uni in 2 years is sick.
I feel like in our old school, recognition was very important. I feel like that's a bad trait that I carried on to my new school. But that pressure of wanting to be the best, I really struggled during the first week because I was not doing well. I didn't take that very well. It was so bad. I wanted to change the A levels.
Do you know what my mom told me? Like when I was complaining about how I didn't feel like smart enough, she said, it's because you were a local champion. Where we are coming from was such a small circle. And we all go to like academically competitive schools. So we're coming to like this world playing field. Do we really think it's going to be as easy as it was where we're coming from? But now coming to a school where you see people who have learned things differently, lived life differently, you kind of have to pull yourself back and be like, I am my real competition. I have to start trying to like beat myself, if that makes sense. Because
they're not competing with me, they don't care about me, but me, I'm caring about everyone else.
as you're chasing someone, they're chasing themselves, and you are not helping yourself.
In all honesty, you need to realize that sooner.
Oh my, I'm so blessed to have Nabiha and Framade.
Oh.
Because you guys have really like shown me that it's not the end of the world. Like even if you do bad, it's not the end.
It ain't over until it's over.
The most important thing is just knowing what you did wrong and like picking yourself back up.
You don't fail until you give up.
Someone asks, is the IB accepted in Canada and can you get the program done there?
I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
I don't know anything about Canada.
From what I know, at least, I do know you can get it done there. We all go to school in the UK, so this isn't really something we have a lot of knowledge on. I think the only advice we could give is do your research. This is a tough one, but would you have rather done A levels?
No. Like, even though I'm suffering and I know what's coming for me in the next year, no. Why are you raising your hand? Let's not drop it.
Drop your hand! You're not allowed. I think, like, although it's hard, I'm happy with my decision.
You're telling me you'd rather have done A levels? Guys, she's lying.
I feel like I wouldn't change it for anything. So I have this cousin and he's an absolute flipping genius. And he's always telling me that his friends that did the IB found settling into university so much easier than he did. And he did A levels.
If you know the career path you want to do, A levels.
I agree with that. Like, save yourself the wahala. In fact, you know what was so funny? When I told someone I'm doing IB, they said, oh, what do you want to do in the future? And I said, I'm still trying to decide. And they're like, oh, no wonder, IB is for NFAs. And by the way, NFAs means no future ambition. Anybody?
She comes out, add it to the time.
Madison, but I'm calling everybody.
Like, Matt's trying to send me the early. Coming from the valley. Like, I just want to play with that funny. So, any last remarks, guys?
If you want to do the IB, be ready to work. It's not all bad. There's also fun in it, like the friends you meet, the people you meet, the teachers.
Yeah, so I find like it's a very international course. So the people you meet, the cultures you witness, and picking up things like their language, their culture.
Enjoy yourself.
Yeah, enjoy it.
Still have fun, guys, please.
Before you make a decision, be thorough with your research and make sure you're doing something that works for you. I'm not saying don't go in open-minded, but go in ready to work. The work will be looking at you. You'll be looking at the work.
Both of you will be looking at each other.
It shock you?
It shocked me, oh. It shocked me.
It shock you.
University, you'll be eating plastic chips. This one, they are getting 3 square meals a day.
You'll be eating plastic chips and water.
As much as you should be like preparing for your future, enjoy yourself and get involved in as many things as you can.
What's that song? I will not smoke evil.
I will not smoke ego.
I don't want to end up in McDonald's.
I will not smoke.
So guys, we've come to the end of this video. I really hope this was not only educative and informative, but I do hope it was entertaining to watch. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Tell your friends to tell their friends to tell their friends. Turn on your post notifications, and I'll see you in my next video.
Bye.
Bye.
No! Cut! Action! We're starting again.
Sorry, what was the question again?
Sorry, valedictorian.
I'm not adding that one to my YouTube video.
Oh, yes, daddy.
Don't put this in the video.
Feeling.
Can we say that?
But it's true.
I don't know if we're allowed to say that.
This reminds me of Teletubbies.